Good, whatever time of the day it is you are listening. This is the QP. This is the P&A Podcast Express Quick Trip. I got my Q's and my P's and my P's and Q's all mixed up there.
PDQs.
Pretty damn quick. I better figure it out. Anyway, It's the P&A Podcast Express Quick Trip. Episode number 4B7274777781910
or the 36th Quick Trip
Dash Alpha.
Yes.
He's Adam Filkins. I'm Phil Nickel. Julie Stoliker joining us, doing something over here. Well, she's wiping her glasses. Apparently seeing better makes her a better podcaster.
Yes.
So you can email us.
It does everyone.
You can email us at pineapplenipplearsehole@gmail.com or pnapodcastexpress@gmail.com. I promise you this will be a quicker trip than we have been releasing lately.
Quickity quick trip.
Quickity quick. Any
quickity quack.
You ready, Julie? Are you ready? Like talking to that thing shaped like a dick.
Why did she immediately look at you and start talking to you?
Oh, that's a solid burn right there.
It was.
That's a very solid burn.
I'm kind of proud of that one. You might want to get a little closer.
Or do this, and we'll swing it. There we go.
Oh.
We got to pick you up with the car.
Swinging it.
There you go. Just
swinging.
There we go. Are we better now?
I think we are better.
So,
Adam, are we good now?
Adam, you have a gear grind you want to share.
I do. So I DJ'd a wedding this weekend, and the people who actually wrote the check were fantastic human beings. Everybody else can suck a big dick.
So, what about a medium-sized dick? Could they suck that too?
No,
it's got to be big. You want them to gag on that shit?
Huge, like telephone pole.
Well, people are becoming ruder and meaner. They're just...
So I have a theory since this whole, everybody's been locked down and we're just now kind of getting back out into the normal world that they are so used to just pleasing themselves.
Speaking of pleasing myself.
Self-pleasure.
That they forget that there's other people involved in things. So I always put out request sheets, right?
Right.
I have request sheets that have 15 spaces on them, and I usually print out about 10 for a reception. And
that's enough for any one person.
I had 7 full sheets of requests. No possible way I can get them all on, right? And I had a strict rule by the bride and groom: no country.
Nice.
Oh.
No polkas.
Whoever you were, I love you.
Oh.
So I was not against that. I have plenty of a repertoire to get through a night without country music.
Repertoire?
I know.
You put the cunt in country sometimes.
Well, but country has evolved into pop country.
It's just pop. It's pop music now.
But there are some quote country singers that have pop songs. So how do you delineate those? Based on the artist or based on the song itself? And where
based on I didn't play any country.
Based on this sucks
but
dick.
Define country. Artist or
so
song.
Everybody, when they release something, they have to designate their
genre. Okay.
If it's designated as country, I did not play it. So
so you could have been like, I want to hear some Florida Georgia Line, and that's some rock and roll, bitch.
Yeah, I'd be like, no, it ain't.
They ain't no rock and roll.
Nice.
Remember when Taylor Swift was pushed upon us as a country artist?
Yeah.
What the fuck? What a bitch.
Well, they just tried to claim her. Country tries to claim everybody. John Bon Jovi's country now. No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Kid Rock is country now.
Yeah, Kid Rock
is
country.
not.
Got the Cadillac pussy. That's one of his songs, by the way.
Yeah. But, so I had people coming up and going, I want to hear anything by Weezer. And it's like, not really reception music, not country music, but I can't think of a good Weezer song for a reception. And I like Weezer.
On an island in the sun.
Maybe. But
Hash Pipe is on the brink. But other than that, most Weezer songs are just like stoner dudes drinking at a party, hanging around.
But here's the thing.
Playing hacky sack.
I had so many requests that were decent requests.
Right, that you could sort those out.
Yeah. So then, but halfway through the night, well, I would say about 10:30, the mother of the groom comes up and requests a song.
And it was country.
It
was country.
She priority.
No, it was country.
Well,
she just
gets priority.
She's like,
it was country.
I want to dance with my boy to this song.
No, she's just like, I've heard this played at a lot of weddings. I'd never heard the song before, and I've DJ'd a lot of weddings.
Yes.
And I've never heard this song before, and I'm like,
yes.
She goes, it's really funny. I want it for my son. He'll love it.
Fuck you, bitch.
So
you broke my heart.
So the name of the song ended up being Itty Bitty Titties. It was extremely, extremely inappropriate.
Oh, shit.
And it was not good. But it wasn't even funny by any means.
Well,
like, if you're trying to be satirical, at least be funny, right?
She went over and her and a very questionable friend went over and started rubbing his chest, and you could tell he was extremely uncomfortable, like while all this was happening.
A little awkwardness.
And I cut the song a little short, just because I'm like, this is bullshit.
You're a good human.
Shit.
Yeah, and I apologize to the people who wrote the check. I'm like, that was requested by the groom's mom, and they're like, what? I'm like, that's the only reason it got played, because I had never heard it before, and I'm usually pretty in tune, with it. Like, if I don't know a song, like I had a lot of inappropriate songs requested that night,
and you ditched them,
and I ditched them because I'd pull them out of my phone, or Mary was with me, so she was listening to them on her phone, and she'd be like, no, and so I'm like, yeah, I wish I would have sussed that one out a little more, but I could not believe all of the people of the above 60 generation that would come up. I had one lady come up and go, if you don't play one of the 3 songs that I requested, I'm taking my granddaughter and I'm leaving. And I'm
so they put this onus on you, my
whole night is ruined if you don't play these songs.
Too acting bad.
Can I ask
I told her, I said, you're in no condition to drive and should not get behind the wheel.
Boom.
And and what you do is not up to me.
Can I ask
I don't really care.
A question? When you DJ weddings, do you put out a tip jar?
No.
Of course not, because you're not a tacky human being.
No.
I was at a wedding, and the DJ put out a tip jar. And I'm like, holy
DJ.
Fuck. Like, if I'm DJing, like, I've DJ'd weddings before, I've never put out a tip jar. I never would do that. But now, in the bar, when I've DJ'd bars before, I'll put a tip jar.
It is different because
But I'm also typically not being paid, honestly, other than beer.
Well,
it's kind of like being in a band, like a house.
It's a whole different.
But I was at a wedding. Right. I was at a wedding, and the DJ.
A dignified event. It should be a dignified event.
I was at a wedding, and the DJ had a tip jar out there, and I asked around, and he was getting paid very handsomely to do this event.
Well, that's
just tacky as fuck, isn't it?
I don't charge a little bit to DJ because I'm pretty good at what I do.
Right.
I have no mic fright, and
it's a skill.
It is a skill, and if you read the crowd appropriately, you can kind of gear your music. Like if everybody's dancing to the fans' dances.
There's nothing more disappointing than when you're DJing a wedding and the dance floor is just totally empty. You're like, shit.
Here's the thing.
So I'll fade songs out, and I'm sure you would too. Like in the middle, like, oh no, this isn't working.
Yeah. Well, like I play certain songs that are like 6.5 minutes, and I know that people aren't going to dance to the same song that long, so I cut it off at about 4.5.
Right.
Just because there's I know exactly where I'm going to cut it off, and I've always told Mary.
And you know music theory, so you know when the point is where you can cut it off and make it sound like it was the whole song.
But like, I'm not joking. From the minute I opened the dance floor up, and they had it was an outdoor event, they brought in a huge dance floor. Right. And I was like, wow, this is going to kind of feel empty. It was packed the entire night.
That's awesome.
Until
that song.
The Itty Bitty song.
Till Cadillac Pussy
The Itty Bitty Titty song.
Because everybody's like, I don't want to be seen dancing to it, because you don't want to be seen enjoying something so tacky.
I'm not joking. There was not another adult on the dance floor that night. And I had like all these like 13 to 15-year-olds that kept asking for Baby Shark, and I finally told the one because she would come up after every song and go, are you going to play Baby Shark? And I told her, no, I'm not. She goes, everybody wants to hear Baby Shark. I'm like, nobody ever wants to hear Baby Shark, and it will not play through my speakers.
You are fake news.
Yeah. I was kind of rude. By the end of the night, I was kind of rude about it. So, I
don't consider it rude. I consider it blunt and honest, like truthful. Like, these are our standards. And these are our boundaries for our parameters for the night, to keep it classy.
And I make it a point to try and get to know the people that I'm DJing for a little bit.
Well, you should. Every time I've ever DJ'd someone's wedding, I sat down with them for at least 15 minutes to at least a half an hour and said, what do you expect? What do you want?
Well,
how do you pronounce your groom?
The number one thing you should always ask, and you know this, what don't you want? What should never happen under any circumstances?
Well, first I send them a questionnaire.
Yeah.
They have to fill out the questionnaire, and then we sit down and go through it, and I kind of verify everything with them, and I go through it all with them, and it's like
bridal dance announcements, like how do you want the names announced? How do you pronounce the names?
It's time to cut the cake.
Yeah.
Are the grooms?
Can I draw
and
your
the bride
attention to the
parents-
left-hand corner of the tent where they will be cutting the cake?
are the-
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together.
But are the parents, are the bridal party's parents married? Like, are the, so
Right.
do I announce it like Anne so-and-so or Mr. and Mrs.? How do I do all that? Because it can be awkward.
So wait a minute. So the bride's dad is married to her stepsister.
Sisters, yeah.
Wait a minute.
Or the bride's dad is married to the groom's ex-sister-in-law. Somewhere in all
Third
that.
cousin twice removed.
Yeah,
Right.
You want to know that. You want to know what to avoid awkwardness and that pause.
And
Wait a
I
minute.
would rather ask a bunch of questions up
Right.
front than to screw something up on their wedding day.
Yes, because that is their day, and it's being videotaped. The videographer's going to catch it. And
Wait a minute.
Right.
Uncle George is a Nazi? Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Try and not mention it, okay?
I mean, I've done same-sex marriages where there's a lot of awkward questions that need to be asked ahead of time.
Yes.
Like, which one is the bride?
Right.
Which one is being given away? Which this? Which that? And there's a lot of stuff to cover.
A lot don't mind, do
They
they?
don't mind at all.
If they
Right.
are true,
They're happy you considered that.
But if
Exactly.
they're true
Everyone that I've
if
done.
they're true in their spirit, they can appreciate that question up front rather than assumptions. You don't have a wedding with two grooms.
Because when you make an assumption, you make an ass out of you and umption.
Yes. And umption don't like it.
Umption hates being an ass.
But no, I mean, seriously, everybody appreciates getting those questions up
Get
front
them
because...
honest and get the right answers.
And to me, it shows that I have experience doing it. So if I'm asking these
and
things...
respect for them.
Right. And I don't want to screw it up. But I have never, ever had so many disrespectful people that... I had a lady come up. I had played her song early in the night. And she came up and requested, and I'm like, I already played it. And she comes up again a little later. She's like, well, you should play it again. I'm like, I have more requests than I will get to already tonight, so I'm not going to double play a song. So, but if the opportunity arises, I'll play it. At the end of the night, she just comes up and she's like, it's really shitty you didn't play my song. I'm like, I did play your song. It was not shitty. It's shitty of you to expect me to play it again. I tend to get
good for you.
I tend to get a little fiery back with people.
No, because you know what? People that get shitty like that need to get some shit back because you can't get away with that. What I'm not sure what's happening to our society.
As Charlie would say on It's Always Sunny, go fuck yourself.
Yes. So I did have one person come up with the bride and say to me, he won't play my Ludacris song. And so I'm like...
Did you respond with, that's ludicrous?
I'm like, no, I won't. And the bride's like, well, why won't you play it? I'm like, because there is not a non-illicit version, and you have under 15-year-olds on the floor right now. I'm not playing that song. I said, I don't care how much you pay me. I'm not playing that song.
Did you play Tag Team Hoop? There it is.
That is awesome. No.
There it is.
That is like so
Sprinkles.
That's totally respectful. But you have to know your audience, and you're observant of your audience. I think that's awesome because you need to gauge your audience and all that, and you need to be appropriate. There's so much inappropriateness now everywhere.
And I know the people who are. I know the people real well. I work with the mom of the bride, and I know the family real well. Known them for a long time, and I know that would not be something that they would want to happen.
Right.
And when I told the bride, I'm like, there is no non-explicit version of that.
Right.
I said I have a hard time finding any Ludacris song that has any kind of non-explicit version.
You got it.
And she's just like, oh, that makes sense. And she kind of told her friend off a little bit. But,
not happening.
A McConaughey is in the building, so we're all going to hell in a handcart.
I also got told by somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's went downhill in here. I also got told by somebody that, well, I'm the best friend of, and this was probably my best line of the night. I'm the best friend of the groom. I'm like, funny, I didn't see you give a speech before dinner.
Right? Was he in a was he even in the bridal party?
No.
So how are you the best friend?
Yeah.
So the last wedding I DJ'd, I was told by a very drunk uncle of either the bride or the groom that I should shove the microphone up my ass.
Oh God, they would not want to hear that shit.
And I said to him, like, sir, do you realize I have less expensive items I could shove up my ass to give me that amount of pleasure?
Also, more expensive items because I don't spend a lot of money on mics.
That's right. We don't. We realize that. You can find good mics at a great value, and you know what? When they peter out on you, they peter out.
I used to only buy, like in the early
mics
days, Shure SM58s for vocals,
which are awesome mics. We're not dogging them; they're great
No,
mics.
But at the time, they were like $300 a piece, and then I realized I'm like, oh, there's several companies that make mics with the exact same specs out of the same parts.
So, for reference, folks, the mics we're speaking to you right now on cost us $3.99 and a membership to Podcast Avid Monthly. That's it.
Yeah. No, they weren't quite that cheap.
No, they weren't.
And they didn't come with a cool subscription.
They're good mics, though.
They're good mics.
So you sent me the specs on
these. You have good enough. You have like the best, and then you have good, and like the good enough, like that's so close to perfection is, for a lot less value.
But the thing is you have to know your environment. So so like I want for my home studio when I get it up and running, it'll be probably SM7s. Which are beautiful mics, but they're good for a closed environment where we're obviously in a bar right now. They're not good for that. And they're not good for banging around, taking up and down, up and down, up and down. But in my own studio, they'll be there. These mics we have right now are just fucking outstanding because it's great sound quality. They can take a fucking beating.
And I would put these in any studio.
Yeah.
I would not be... They're an 1.5 inch diaphragm mic, which I know that doesn't mean anything to anybody, but basically look at it like a speaker.
You're dilated 1.5 inches.
How many centimeters is that?
2.54 centimeters.
My microphone's water just broke.
2.54 centimeters.
Oh, wow. So, okay, like...
Well, it's 25.4 millimeters to an inch, so 2.54 centimeters to an inch.
It's like 25% of a baby's head.
So if you're dilated 10 millimeters, you're 10 centimeters, you're dilated 4 inches.
Huh.
Think about that, folks.
Nice. Good math.
My day job's...
Math.
Math. Not meth, math.
You'd make more money if you did math.
I'd make a shit ton more money. I could cook meth like you wouldn't believe.
I got a camper.
Bryan Cranston actually learned how to cook meth from experts at the Drug Enforcement Agency to study for the role of that he played in Breaking Bad. Isn't that crazy? He actually learned how to fucking cook meth. Yeah.
And he probably does now. It makes a shitload more money than
I don't
he did.
think Bryan Cranston needs to do any.
No.
Well,
but I just thought that's fascinating.
I made it through a couple seasons of Breaking Bad, and then it got too hinky. I had to
But Breaking Bad,
it was like exhausting.
Breaking Bad starts off so slow.
It was
though.
exhausting.
It's a great show.
I liked it. I liked the first couple seasons. It was kind of slow, kind of this. It was like and then it got hinky. It got weird. It just got.
See, I liked it.
It went over the top. It was kind of like that one series.
Better Call Saul's better.
Yeah,
did you ever watch Weeds?
Yeah,
Weeds was good the first couple seasons, and then it just got
I mainly watched
out of
it
control.
for Kevin Nealon, which it didn't have enough of.
I love Kevin Nealon.
My favorite Kevin Nealon thing ever is the All Drug Olympics skit he did on SNL.
Yeah, God, it's been
You got it.
So good. So good. Oh, the Big Russians tore his arms off. He's going to be disappointed. He probably doesn't feel much right now, but in the morning, that's really going to hurt.
And meanwhile, blood is spurting out, and his arms are still attached to the barbell he was trying to lift.
I mean, just saying, do you think that, like, some of those Netflix shows, like The Weeds and the Breaking Bad, have led to drug epidemics?
No, more so.
Because I don't think they portrayed it in such a positive light. But
well, to me, the drug culture caused a lot of anxiety in those shows.
Right.
It did.
And so I think people pick up on that, you know.
But yet still...
If you want anxiety in your life, you can go into that. But if you don't, you'll stay away from it.
Okay.
You'll work at McDonald's.
But,
yeah.
just with
And
the
make more money.
legalization, I mean, I've seen in the real estate world where there's lots of properties here that are going because people are moving to less populated areas so they can have more room to have their grow operations.
So my brother was selling.
So I don't know who's buying all this new pot that is being quote legally grown now.
Do you know the amount of pot that is? I bet you just in this building tonight, probably a lot of pot is being smoked. Everybody smokes
Maybe
pot.
not in the building, but right outside the building. I would say.
Everyone.
I don't smoke it.
No, I don't either. But I tell you what, I have friends.
Which is odd that we have 3 people here at the table that don't.
Right.
I'm not saying that I never have. I have.
Well, you're not a regular.
I'm not going to lie, but it's not a regular go-to at all.
I partake on occasion. I would say
twice a year.
I would say on average, I would be about a 3 to 4 time a year.
Yeah.
And
I kind of want to get into edibles just because I like food.
Dude, edibles fuck you right up, but they're beautiful.
I had an experience with edibles earlier this year, and I ate some Rice Krispie treats that we referred to as Scooby Snacks.
Nice.
Well, I ate them. They were like
Snacks.
Rice Krispie Scooby Snacks. Ate them way too late in the night, but the next morning I'm like,
I'm still high.
no, I wasn't. I never felt high. I just got super ass hungry.
Well, do you know how you trigger? Do you know how you trigger edibles?
Ate
Do you
breakfast.
know? No,
Huge
edibles.
breakfast.
Edibles have a very distinct phrase you need to trigger them, and that's these edibles ain't shit.
Oh, they were Scooby
And once that
Snacks.
happens,
Oh,
I just
no.
got the best text ever.
go on.
So
Tell me more.
I just got a text from a mutual friend of Mad Dog's that said, "How the hell am I supposed to know if the refs are winning this game for the Lions or not?"
That is whoever sent that. Thank you. That's 100% the answer. That is 100% the answer. Thank you.
You will not know.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Oh, God.
As it's all tied up now.
Do you care to divulge who it was, or we want to talk about that off
Oh,
air?
that was Jimmy Hacker.
Oh, fuck, I love Jimmy Hacker. Jimmy, you're still welcome. Come on the show with us, too, Jimmy. Fuck.
Dumb shit. Get over here.
You have so many interesting things, and you're such a morbidly funny motherfucker. Come on the show.
Being the key word.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Arlen's son?
Yeah.
Jimmy? Okay.
Oh,
Is he a mortician as well?
yes.
Of course
But-
he is.
But one of the most twisted human beings on the planet.
But we love him.
yeah, but
that's
like
scary.
in such a good way.
Well, you have
You gotta
to
be a little fucked up to do that job.
in that line of work. You have to be for sure.
Intentional grounding on Jared Goff, number 16 for
I mean,
the Lions.
honestly, you have to have a dark sense of humor there.
Oh, and he does. He does.
Well,
He's outside the
especially
box
to run
too.
the and
What's happening?
And I'm going to make light of the Hackers funeral parlors have been around for
They're called
eons.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Actually, eons and
Since
eons.
people started dying.
Yes, in Sandusky, and I've known many
People have been dying
generations
for
of them.
eternity.
But
Yeah.
which is always funny is because like
What's funny about people dying?
Well, no, but my college classmates and
joking, I'm
things
fucking
that
with you.
would drive through Sandusky and they go
Hacker funeral parlor.
Yeah.
Remember the gaudy,
Hackers funeral
gaudy
parlor.
ass fucking neon lights they had?
Well, remember the Croswell movie, The Hackers? I'm like,
Yeah.
is that a commercial?
Well, but
What?
hackers, it made it sound like they were hacking up bodies. I mean, it's just kind of
So I've told this
Have
story
you
Weird.
ever witnessed what do they call it? Embalming? They hack
No.
up bodies.
Yeah. So I've told this story before, but I'll tell it for your benefit. I'll give you the abridged version. I've told it before on the podcast, but so there was a old gentleman that died out of Snover, and so they're making the arrangements with the family and stuff. And Jim tells them, "Okay, you need to bring up a suit. Whatever you want him buried in, you need to bring that up." So they bring up a suit and a bag and everything. So Jim goes to get him dressed, and there's no shoes. There's no socks, and there's no pants in the bag. So Jim calls up the family, and he says, hey, there's no shoes or socks or pants in the bag. And the guy goes, well, what do you need pants for? You cut the legs off, right? Isn't that how you drain the blood?
This is a true story.
Total true story. And he's like, no, we don't cut the legs off.
I know, but they have the bottom half closed all the time.
Right.
So why?
Right.
Why waste the pants? Honestly, why waste the pants?
Now you're thinking like Snoverites.
No, I'm just thinking like a human. All right.
Well, hold on, let me finish. So
Okay.
they bring up pants and socks, but then the son tells Jim, he's like, I wore the same size shoes of my dad, so I didn't bring any shoes because I can use those.
That's awesome.
So, like, the big joke has been is, what do you do with all those legs, Jim?
Yeah, what are you doing with all those legs?
Where you just got a shed full of those somewhere, stacked up high?
Oh my
Like
God, that's what
cordwood.
they make canes out of. They just like
They let them go down to the bone. And
they do.
your
They make
cane, my
canes out of
cane,
the bone.
my cane is made out of so and so's femur.
Exactly. Think about it.
It's the
I don't know.
it's the strongest
But,
bone in the body.
It's crazy though because when my mom died, go to the funeral home. They're like, okay, bring her
Oh
clothes.
God, we're talking about this again.
So I brought her clothes, and it's like, oh, well, you need undergarments, and I'm like, oh, well.
She gonna use those?
Well, but
Right.
she had lost so much weight, like her bra size, everything changed, and I'm like, and they said, well, we'll reconstruct, and I'm like,
Wait a minute.
so they
Reconstruct.
do. So I give so much credit to funeral homes because they do really try to make everybody look as real and as normal as what they were. And I'm like, wow. So I have to go buy a bra for a body that has nothing left.
So if they want to do that for me, I'm going to be in a pair of boxers with Cheetos in my chest hair.
Exactly.
Yes.
It was like kind of like, well, I kind of like looked at my kids and I said, what do we want Grandma to be? It was an awkward moment. Like, oh, I just thought we'd do it as it was. And no, you have to, they actually do a really good job of.
They do.
They do. And bless their hearts that there's somebody to do that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it can't be an easy job, especially when they have to do something for somebody that they know.
Yeah,
Right?
and doing hair and makeup and making them look authentic.
Yeah.
It's not. It can't be an easy job. That's why it costs like $11,000.
Well, everything is expensive now.
Right.
Talking to Jim, the chemicals that they have to use, the embalming fluids and
Yes.
that
To
are
make
just
code.
outrageous.
It is.
And that's why I just want to be taken out in the woods and let the animals eat me.
You can sign up for that.
Yeah.
They
There
have the
are-
body farms where they study as long as you don't mind them studying your decomposition out in the wild.
Yeah.
Or you can be be cremated and put into a root of a tree and grow back.
That seems like a lot of effort.
Oh, good
I
Lord.
say
Have you
feed-
seen trees? They suck.
Yeah, feed the
I
animals.
like
I'm
trees.
just
I like trees.
yeah, but
No,
I'm just
I
going
wanna
to be
be- Why do you
contributing
like
to
trees?
someone else's
I like to
allergies.
be a tree.
What relationship prompted you to say I like trees? Did you? I mean, what is your favorite tree?
If you love a tree hard enough, you'll get splinters.
Yes.
Oh,
Do you
no.
have a favorite tree?
I do.
That's weird. Okay, go on. What's your
The
favorite tree?
Crimson maple.
Oh, favorite type of
I
tree.
have 2 of those in my yard.
I meant a favorite tree. Like, is there a tree somewhere that when you're having a shitty day, you're like, I got to go visit Merle?
Or like,
Oh,
I got to go bang that tree.
That's right. Or I got to go stick my finger in a knot hole.
Now, it's like a fence post, jackass. So,
Well, I'm just asking because
Oh boy.
Okay. Good question. No,
I can tell you which trees are not my favorite. Any that are on my property because I got to take care of them. And trees are needy
And
motherfuckers.
fucking cottonwoods.
They're not
That's
needy.
right.
They're not needy. Cottonwoods.
not needy?
Cottonwoods are a pain in the ass because they just like
They're
blow
always growing.
for
That's all
I have-
miles
that's all I
and
have in my
miles.
yard.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Always
Every
growing.
June it snows.
Right. They're always
Fuckers.
growing, needed to be trimmed, and they fucking, oh, Jesus Christ.
The crimson maple.
Yeah, I
Red
understand
leaves,
what a
they're
crimson maple
beautiful
is. Yeah.
trees. And why wouldn't you want to come back
actually-
as
it's actually
part of
called-
a beautiful being?
It's actually called a Crimson King maple is the long, but Crimson maple's the shorthand of it, yes.
All right, sorry. Didn't need to be non-technical.
It's all right.
I mean-
it's okay.
Yeah, all right.
if we're gonna discuss arbor here, we need to fucking discuss fucking trees, man. Arboretums are my jam. Whenever anybody says, "Hey, look at this, you can pull off the highway right now and be at the blah 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 arboretum," I'm like, I'm right there. I'm gonna have a burrito at the arboretum.
Is that like the mystery spot?
Of course. No, that's the G spot.
Oh, have you guys?
I've not been to either.
You know, sideways. The mystery spot on your way up north. Has anybody been to the mystery spot?
You mean in St. Ignace? No, I haven't been there.
I've never been there.
I've driven by. I've sat in the parking lot and went, do I really want to waste like all that money going in to just be shown physics?
I don't know. What is a mystery? What is it? I don't know.
It's a mystery.
My dad would never fucking drive there. We go by there on vacation.
No, I can tell you.
I want to go. Let's go to the mystery spot. And they're like, no, and they would never take us.
Here's what the mystery spot is. I can sum it up for you in a nutshell, and I've never been there before. It's where a slinky actually works on a set of stairs. That's the mystery spot.
A slinky works on every stair.
No, it doesn't.
No. Not the cheap. Well, my parents only buy me the plastic ones.
They bought you the stinkies?
Yeah. They're like, oh, here's one. It's kind of rainbowy.
You're like, this is a stinky, not a slinky.
I had the original metal slinky.
Could you make your slinky work on a set of stairs?
Yes, I did.
What's your record? How many stairs could you make the slinky slink?
Our second flight of stairs in our house was like 8 stairs, and it would go down.
So you made
stairs.
a slinky slunk 8 stairs?
Yes.
Are you listening to what the words I'm pulling out right now, Adam?
I am.
Slinky
terrible.
and slunk.
Yes,
and I did make my slinky slunk.
So did it slinky? Did it slinky or did it slunk?
It
or did it slank?
So what was the cadence? Was it pretty oscillating the way
it
down?
was like it had a really good cadence to it, but you had to place it on the edge, and it went to the edge, to the edge, to the edge. But our stairs were very well constructed, so they were all the same.
So is that the key to quality slinking? Is well constructed stairs?
Yes, because they all had to be the same dimension. So once that slinky started slinking and started slunking, it.
So how old were you when you realized your stairs had dementia?
Dimension. Not
oh, okay.
Oh, I was probably about 6 or 7 when I got it in my Easter basket.
Okay.
Yes.
Were they carpeted?
Yes, they were.
Did it match the drapes?
I knew that was coming.
Wow, you are an asshole. Every single day, you are an asshole. Yes.
Sorry, my due diligence here.
Yeah, but at 8 there was.
So here's what I would love to have happen. Since we have an email account and we have listeners, question mark. What? If you can video us a slinky actually working, because the most I've ever done with a slinky is maybe like 3 stairs, and then it just gives up.
Oh my God, you're an engineer. What the fuck?
Well, I wasn't. To be fair, I did not slunk a slinky down the stairs in my adulthood. It's been since I was a youth, when I was younger. So if you can send us a video at pineapplenipplearsehole@gmail.com or pnapodcastexpress@gmail.com, a video of a slinky slunking all down, say, I don't know, you said 8 stairs you made it go?
Yeah, well,
so we want 9 or better. We want 9 or better.
Well, that was all the stairs I had in that flight, and then I had to turn and go around a landing and down another.
Had it been 14 stairs straight on, are you confident you could have nailed that?
It would have went. It would have nailed it.
How many stairs would you think is the upper threshold of what it could have? What?
So many stairs.
Right.
So many stairs. I think it would have went like to infinity stairs.
I will just venture to say, in the most tasteful manner, I think my slinky skills could survive 9/11.
You think so?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, dude. I love that. I love that claim. I love that claim.
That's confidence. Confidence in my slinky skills.
Or is it slinky hubris?
Well, I gotta admit, I did not get that reference, but I think my slinky skills survived COVID.
People who survived 9/11 had to run a lot of stairs.
Oh, but the problem with the slinky is
I'm bringing it home for you.
It's a semi-tasteful joke.
But the problem with the stairs from 9/11 is the slinky does not know how to go around the.
I would have compensated before the landing.
Yeah, but you have a landing and then you got to turn.
It's called English. Slinky English.
Slinglish.
I just don't know how you make that turn.
Well, that's why I'm the expert here.
Right? Oh, my goodness.
But you know what? I would like to see that. Slinky in a stairwell. Can you get it to go down 8 stairs at a time to a landing and turn and go?
Yes.
Can you get it to turn?
I've seen people make turns with slinkies. Yes.
So you can make a turn and go now. That would be.
It's all about the angle, the approach angle.
Exactly.
Where are we at time-wise? Because I feel like I got to pee.
We're actually ready to wrap this up.
Oh, well, then let's wrap it up. We've talked enough about slinkies and nonsense and terrible DJing.
Terrible people.
And horrible people.
You know, people just need to learn to be kind.
Honestly, 80% of the population are terrible people, so it's no surprise.
Oh, no, I don't want to go that high yet.
All right, 77%.
You know, I'm going to go 65.
69%.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna say this.
Go on.
Most people are good people. Sometimes there are concentrations of the ones that are not.
And they put them in camps.
And it makes it feel like it's 90. Oh, there we go.
I just agreed with you on that.
I sold you on that. I saw you on a roll. I'm like, I'm going to sneak this one by.
You son of a bitch.
That's the Anne Frank memorial moment right there.
I was thinking more you were going to say, and they put them at receptions.
No, they put them in camps. And you're like, yes, fuck.
Same thing.
Uh-oh.
I think everybody at this reception arrived on a train car, so...
Holy fuck! All right, we gotta get out of here. This show's only gonna devolve.
Oh yeah, it's going south fast.
Oh boy!
I know, because we got the attention over there. Yep.
Yeah. Woodcock!
Woodcock! Oh boy! Well, Julie, I thank you for being the voice of reason.
Yes,
this evening.
She was actually in this episode.
I know. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
We've often thought about an episode that we have in the shoot that we could air in desperation if we needed to.
And that was the one we haven't aired of you a long time ago, early in the podcast.
Thank God.
Hey, in a world where Julie Stoliker is the voice of reason.
Not in that episode.
No. All right. We got to get out of this place.
Okay.
Don't worry, we've all been there.
If it's the last thing we ever do.
All right, so...
take us out, Adam.
I think this is the one I got to hit.
Yes.
That is the one.
You want me to do it?
Sure, go for it.
Thanks for listening to the PNA Podcast Express. He's Adam Filkins. I'm Phil Nickel. Julie Stoliker, thank you for being our wonderful guest. PNA Podcast Express at gmail.com or pineapplenipplearsenal at gmail.com. Make good choices.